It's not that old. It's like a couple weeks. I mean, I don't know. It's been a minute, Rachel.
We don't know how time has elapsed anymore.
Yeah.
It could have been a month ago.
When did this?
It could have been yesterday.
When did this
I don't know.
Coronavirus? I have no idea.
We don't exist in time. We're just floating.
Hey guys, it's your best fight friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. We want to talk about
Bob Arum. So Bob Arum was recently interviewed by Christina Poncher,
who worked for Bob Arum. I think
Okay.
that's important to know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, not
I guess
that
it-
Christina Poncher does a great job.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it is
You
important.
just wanted to note that. Okay. Anyway, the takeaway that I got from that is one of the things that he said is Bob Arum stated that there is likely not going to be any big title fights for the foreseeable future because boxing and its pay structure is so heavily dependent on fans attending the event.
Yeah.
So he said, especially at the big title fights. So he gave the example of like a Wilder Fury fight, and he said that the fans brought in $17 million. Tickets, like ticket sales. What do they call it at the gates?
Well, it's a live gate, yeah. So it's a huge part of the pot.
He was like, we can't make up the $17 million. So he said, we're going to figure out ways to have non-title fights, 10-round fights. He was like, there's plenty of those to be had. But big title fights, he doesn't see that happening. I was, as a fan,
You're taken back by that?
Well, I was like, what? Like, I don't know. I don't know about you. Maybe you're more of a boxing fan than me. But if you're me, I kind of need named guys. I need opponent, like fighters who I know who they are.
Rachel's not. I mean, we watch Showbox sometimes.
I need something that's going to, get me to turn that channel on. And, some name I've never heard of, I'm not quite sure it's going to do that. At least not consistently.
You want boxing. Boxing is driven by big name fighters fighting each other. It's why they don't give you any other good fights on a pay-per-view undercard, because they don't have to. They're like, we're only buying it for this fight. Most people in the arena only show up for this fight, so we're only going to give you this fight.
Now, they should be building other fights, but that's another story for another day.
Well,
today what I want to bring up and point out is, let's contrast this against Dana White at the UFC, who has been, oh my gosh, finding any way he can to keep his events going on. They just announced UFC 249 and the official details, and the first thing, you said to me about it was, oh my gosh, this is one of the best cards in, UFC history.
I didn't, that's hyperbole, but I said it was a really good card. I mean, it's a really good card.
A really good card. So clearly, there's some really great fights on this. On the other side in boxing, I got Bob Arum telling me, Rachel, you just best get happy with, these...
Bob, you're watching club fighters, 4-rounders, you know what I mean? And you're like, what?
Yeah. I'm like, I just wanted to...
He's like, some of these guys will have never even fought before in their lives.
I mean, how many boxing shows have we
been at
where
now,
somebody walked into the ring in
that
swim
clearly
trunks.
has never, in swim trunks, without boxing shoes, that clearly had never been in a boxing ring before. I've seen this, I'm pretty sure, at a Top Rank show, right? I mean, I've seen this happen.
I just want to, that contrast is, so here's what I'm asking for in boxing. Hey, boxing, I need the people with, the ability to make big moves in boxing. Let's think outside the box. I can't wait 5 years for Wilder Fury 3. You know what I mean?
So I have some thought. I agree. I think that Bob Arum, first of all, Bob Arum's arguably the greatest boxing promoter ever. He's a Hall of Famer easily. But he's also the kind of guy who says, he says stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's an
says
expert
stuff.
and
no, he says stuff.
Crystal ball.
I think he says stuff on purpose to be in the news. This is my opinion. And then he does stuff. So I also happen to know that another top ranked person, Todd DeBoeuf, is that it? DeBoeuf. Anyway, who is one of their high-ranking executives, went on and talked about how the Top Rank already has plans to get into a studio and have fights there at the studio. If the UFC can put on as good a fights as it's planning to put on, then boxing will figure out a way. I get the live gate thing is an issue, but at the same time, how many people just went on unemployment, right? You want to fighter? You want to make a little less money of your millions and still fight? Or do you want to go on unemployment?
And that's the biggest part of this.
I don't think
people involved. Yeah, there's going to be
people are going to have to make some fighters that are world champion fighters. They're going to want to fight still. They're going to just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not. So I'm not sure I agree with Arum, but I do think that you have the UFC and Dana White, what he does over here, and you have what happens in boxing. And what Dana White and UFC are doing and have done is definitely working better, right? And I know the arguments about pay structure. I know that there's different factors to this, but this guy, I feel like if this was a race, he's winning the race.
Yeah. So that's what we wanted to say. Well, how do I transition?
And so that's what we wanted to say. We are robots, and that is what we wanted to say.
Want more of this? Like, comment, and subscribe.
Why wouldn't you want more of this?
Of course you want more of this. You love us. We love you. You're our best boxing friends and our best fight friends.
That's old school.